What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Cyrus, and I want to bring another video. So I'm bringing you a video on Uchuu Sentai Kyuranger. Now, today, actually the other day, we got information regarding the show as far as the cast goes, as far as some of the plot goes, as far as some character descriptions go. So we got a little bit of information. Not like huge details, but definitely some information. So first I wanted to just give you a general description of what the show is going to be based around. For starters, the show is set in the distant future in a universe ruled by the evil Jack Matter organization. So interesting, okay. 9 individuals, each representing different constellations of their home world, has been chosen to become the protectors called Kyurangers. So the Kyurangers are composed of humanoids, aliens, and robotic members. And I think I've mentioned this already, but yeah, that's the case. So it's pretty interesting. I believe there's supposed to be 5 humans, 2 robots, and 2 aliens. Each of them were chosen by the Kyotoma. So for starters, there's Red, which is Shishi Red, or Lucky, which is his other name, or how they'll refer to him, I guess. And the actor, I guess, is Takeomi Kizu, which I don't really know the actors that well, but yeah, he's supposedly someone that's, I think it was picked from a contest or something. Traveling, and Shishi Red's description is, a traveling warrior from outer space who was born from the Shishi system. So from a certain solar system. So that's the Shishi solar system. Chameleon Green, or Hami, I'm guessing it's gonna be how she's gonna be referred to. Hami or Hammy. It's Hammy. I'm guessing Hami. Is played by Sakuraku Ukuba. Now remember, I don't speak Japanese, so if I'm pronouncing any of these wrong, understand this now. That's just, it's me trying my best to pronounce names, but yeah, let's keep going anyway. A space ninja from the Chameleon system. So yes, there's a Chameleon system. Then there's Kaijiki, a yellow, also going to be referred to as Spada, which is cool, I guess. And that's played by Tetsuji Sakakihara, a cook from the Kaijiki system whose main goal in life is to become a top chef of the universe. Right, well, yellow's supposed to be a chef, so that makes sense. Then there's Hibitsukai Silver, which is going to be referred to as Nagare, who's going to be played by Taiki Yamazaki, an emotional warrior from the Hibitsukai system. Emotional. I'm curious as to why he's emotional. You know, like, that's very, like, it's a very vague description. It says he's from the Hibitsukai system, but like, emotional. What does that mean? Is he a crybaby? Is he just full of anger? What does that mean? Very unclear. I want to know. Then there's Sasori Orange, which is the last human, who is also going to be called Stinger, and as you may have guessed, Sasori Scorpion, and Stinger makes sense, obviously. A mysterious warrior from the Scorpio system. So then we move on to the animal, the alien / android characters. Okami Blue will also be referred to as Garu, like Garu. And he looks pretty interesting. I'll go into how I feel about how the androids and humans look after this, but I just want to basically give you a description here. A half man, half beast from the Okami system. So he's half man, half beast, and you can definitely see it in his design. Like, I guess I should just talk about it a little bit, but like, hold on to that. Tenbin Gold. Tenbin Gold is gonna be referred to as balance, because like that's what it has to do with like Libras and all that stuff. A mechanical life form and a thief from the Tenbin system. So he's the first android, and Okami Blue is the first alien. Oishi Black is a robotic wrestling champion from the Oishi system. And actually, yeah, and I'm guessing he's supposed to be the other alien. And he's gonna be referred to as Champ. And he's a robotic wrestling, which makes sense. A robotic wrestling champion from the Oishi system. Then there's Washi Pink, and Pink is going to be referred to as Laputa 283. So she's an android. She's a pilot android from the Washi system, which obviously she'll probably her name will just be shortened to Laputa. It probably won't be Laputa 283. Like, they'll probably just refer to her as Laputa most of the time, which is fine. Yeah. So, I'm cool with that, in my opinion. Yeah. But overall, I really like the designs of them. I think that it's a good mix. Overall, I just wanted to... I mean, it's a good mix overall, especially since they have 5 humans and 4 non-humans. I think that that's good because that way they have like a core team that's 5 humans and then the other 4 aren't, and that's good because that means they have more humans than that, and they'll be able to really develop those characters, at least the humans. But yeah, now obviously they didn't mention any of the actors, the voice actors yet, and that's expected, especially when you have voice acting characters like that, and the focus is more so on the humans. So we'll know who they are probably very soon, but they haven't really confirmed them yet. But anyway, Blue. Let me go through what I think about how they look. I'm just gonna try to find a closer image than the one that I'm looking at right now. Just because I'd rather see it in good quality, of course. But yeah, no, I really do enjoy the designs a lot. I think that I genuinely think that they look great. I'm just gonna try to find a really much better image because I have some good images. It's just that I already have preset. It's just I'm trying to find them right now because so much stuff happens all the time. There they are. Okay. I mean, I'm looking at Blue right now, and I really like his design. You can totally see, like, with the hair, how he must have like a human side to him, and just in general, he has a human-like look to him. But he's very much so in rags, and it's interesting. I actually do like him. I'm gonna be very curious as to how they're gonna do this, especially since if they're gonna make them regular characters, how is this gonna work? Because a lot of people are connecting this to a bunch of seasons. They're connecting it to Go Busters because of the whole entire having humans and having robots or whatever, or additional characters. They're connecting this to Gingaman because they're from different like solar systems, so it's sort of like Gingaman / Lost Galaxy or whatever you want to call it. And then they're also connecting it to Gokaiger because they're space travelers traveling through the galaxy. Although the big difference here is that rather than just traveling to Earth and having like backstories that go into wherever they were, but never actually telling us like where they actually lived, other than like, oh yeah, they lived in the Zangief planet at one point or whatever. In this case, they mainly stay on Earth, which is very limited in a lot of ways, because what that implies is that if they're just on Earth, then you only get that one side. You know that they're space pirates, but you don't get to. But like the problem with that was that they were referred to as space pirates, but they didn't travel anywhere but Earth. I mean, they told you, oh, they went to the Zangief planet at the end, but they didn't do much else other than just travel on Earth. In this case, most likely they're going to travel to the different solar systems that they live on, and maybe even some ones that they don't even live on. And that's one of the things I'm really hoping that they do. I'm actually going to continue to talk about some of these. I really do like Black's look a lot. I see the metallic design. He definitely looks like a ball of some sort. I mean, he looks cool. Pink reminds me of like a couple of characters, a couple of different things. Like I can see almost like a Splatoon influence there with the hair. If I really wanted to go there, which I really don't want to, but if you wanted to say that, you could. I don't know. She reminds me of a bunch of characters. I see a little bit of inspiration from Candelira from Kyuranger. She looks interesting. I'm gonna be very curious to see how she's gonna work in the end. Gold is definitely very robotic, very metallic design. I enjoy his design a lot. I'll be very curious. I'm very curious about each of them. I want to know more. I also want to know if these are their only designs or if they're gonna have a human design as well. The only reason why I say this is because if they're supposed to transform into a more humanoid look, then I'd love to know if there is going to be, like when they transform, they look like Rangers. So like, does that mean that they have a human form, or is it just that they have that when they transform? Now, for all we know, it could just be when they transform. And personally, I'm hoping that it is in some ways, but at the same time, I'm hoping that it's just this form and then their transform form. But I really do like it. I really hope, again, that they actually travel through the galaxy and go to different planets rather than just going to Earth or just one of the planets. And from how it sounds like they're just going to travel to different planets, which is good. It's much better than just traveling to Earth. And also, the other thing is that it's not like any of them are from Earth. They're all from different constellational galaxies, which implies that, there isn't any need for them to travel to Earth. Now, could they go to Earth just because? Yes, they definitely could, but it's just not very clear yet. But because of the fact that none of them come from Earth, what that implies is that they don't have to base it in that realm. They could say they're in this part of the world, or they're in this universe. And the thing that I'm hoping for is that they actually give backgrounds and backgrounds on the characters and their race and who they are, and then maybe them traveling to different planets. Some of them their own, some of them that aren't theirs. Maybe certain characters are seen by other characters. Let's just say, for example, Pink's solar system sees let's just say the Scorpio system, which is oranges, as an evil race, and when Scorpio goes there, all the people of Laputa's planet go on a rampage trying to beat up Sasori, Orange, and there's a whole fight, or maybe they even brainwash or something like that, and maybe Pink has to convince them otherwise. I mean, having some sort of differences and having they're invading our place. Just having backgrounds and backstories, and hopefully it's not just 50 bazillion Laputas. Hopefully it's there's different cultures, there's different types of groups. I really want to feel like these are immersive worlds. Now, at the same time, again, it's 50 episodes, and how are they going to really give you a real sense of that? They don't need to be so much to the point that it feels so immersive, but if they can give a sense that you get a feel like there's a difference in where you are, then that'd be good. And maybe explain different habits and cultures that come from the different groups. And I might be asking for a whole lot, and it might make things extremely complicated, but I feel like if you're gonna travel with different planets, give a sense of a bigger universe, a bigger galaxy out there than just trying to make it okay, he's on a different planet, and then you just have all of him. And I mean that. Look, I'm not saying that it will be a problem if they do that, but I hope that they do it well. I really like the designs of the characters. I really like the designs of the Ranger suits for this season, and I'm really excited for this season, very much so. I can't wait to see how this works out in the end. And the show's supposed to release on February 12th, to be exact. So that's approximately, I don't know, 3 weeks after Power Rangers Ninja Steel comes out in America. So if you're curious about what the difference in timing is, yeah, it's roughly about a 3-week period. So Zyuohger will still be going on for 3 weeks before the new seasons for America and Japan are both going on at once. And then, obviously when that happens, we'll only have a month and a half before the Power Rangers movie finally comes out. So that will be something else. But yeah, this is definitely something I look forward to. We have a bunch of things going on, just focus in on the Power Rangers Ninja Steel show, and then give it a few weeks, and then we got that, and then give it a little more than a month, and then we got the movie, and we're pretty good. Just have those different, important points in your mind. When does Power Rangers Ninja Steel come out? When does this come out? When does the movie come out? Like, that's for me, like, what I'm going to be focusing on a lot. Because, we have a couple weeks left before Ninja Steel, and you just keep on keeping those in mind. And before you know it, we'll get more information. I'm also looking forward to hearing the theme song, which is going to be called Lucky Star, and the end theme is going to be called Kyotama Dancing. And the writers behind it, the main writer behind it, did the writing for Kamen Rider O's and Kamen Rider Gaiam, which both are excellent seasons of Kamen Rider. So definitely hoping that Kyuranger can be just as good as those, obviously in a different platform, which in this case, rather than it being for Kamen Rider, will be for Super Sentai. So hopefully everything turns out to be really good. It definitely has a very different look than previous seasons, and there's the influence of 9 members rather than just rather than the typical 5. Go Ranger, as we've working on Thing 2, had 5, because Go in Japanese, I believe, has some implication with 5, and also you could say 5 man, which was 5 members, so and QQ5, so you get the point. In this case, there's a 9. Numbers definitely have an implication in certain seasons, as I've basically explained right there. So it is going to be interesting to see how 9 will work and how effective it will be. It'll also be interesting to see if there will be any other special, like if there'll be a special member for this team, where there'll be like 10 members rather than just the 9. In my opinion, if they're gonna do 10, that's going to be interesting, and I'll be very curious. I mean, I've also suggested the idea that they might end up doing something along the lines of 12. And why 12? Because I believe there's supposed to be 12 different, what do you call them? The 12 different signs. So they might do the 12 different signs, meaning that they might add 3 additional members in the end, making it so that this will be the largest team ever. Because technically Kyuranger has 10, but they didn't have 10 from the start, obviously. So they might end up having 3 additional members in the end, or they might not. They might just keep it 9 and really go into a lot of detail with these 9. I mean, I honestly don't know enough right now. I'm kind of hoping that they go into additional members in some ways, but at the same time, I'm kind of not, because I feel like 9 is a lot, and if they don't, and the big problem with, and this is the main reason why they don't do teams of 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, is because of the fact that it's you're never going to be able to develop 50 characters in one season. You're never going to be able to develop 20 characters in one season, because you're going to be focusing in on certain characters over time, and it's just not going to go over very well if you're focusing on way too many characters. And that's why certain characters get a lot more attention than others, and other ones get very little attention, which is why, if they're going to do this season, they have to be very aware of that, because people want to learn about different characters, but at the same time, they want to develop them just enough. And that's why doing any more than 9 is asking for a lot of trouble with a lot of people, because you want to know about these characters. You don't want to feel like, I don't know anything about, let's just say, Sasori Orange. I want to know about him. I want to know about Red. I want to know about Pink. I want to know about who they are. I want to know about what their background is. But we need to be aware of that. So overall, I'm actually very excited for this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it works out in the end. Remember, there's going to be 42 Kyotama. 42 apparently has something to do with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, because Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe said that the answer to everything in the universe is the number 42, apparently. So that's the implication there with the whole 42, apparently. So keep that in mind, I guess. But it should be interesting. I'm guessing, obviously, the Kyotama will be something where that will be the incentive for them to travel to different planets. Obviously, they'll probably be going to these different planets trying to find the Kyotama. So they'll be going to closer to the galaxies, whether it be their own or whether it be other ones as well. In my opinion, I'm guessing that what most likely is going to happen is that the 9 of them have their own Kyotama, and then they're not going to travel to their own planets necessarily, but maybe they'll travel to, I don't know, what's like 33 other different solar systems, and each one of them has its own Kyotama. That's me making a guess, but obviously we'll have to wait and see to know for sure what exactly is going to go on. But I could totally see something along those lines being the case, and it could be a really cool season in the end. And I'm sure they'll do special Kyotama as well as the main ones. So it's all very exciting, and I can't wait to see how this season plays out in the end. So I'd love to know your guys' opinions in the comments below. What do you guys think of how this season is sounding? Are you excited for it? Do you think that this season's weird? What do you hope that this season has that previous Super Sentai seasons didn't have? Do you expect America to have this? Personally, in my opinion, I think it might happen, but what will most likely happen is that if they do that, they're going to probably make all the androids and aliens into humans. They're probably not going to make them have the alien forms at all, due to the fact that many of them will be confused as to why that is and will not be willing to accept it. So more likely than not, they'll probably just have them as human forms if they do this in America, and they might skip over Zyuohger. Obviously, this also depends on if the season sells well, but judging from the fact that this is going to be going on at the same time as Ninja Steel, you have to remember that if they want to, the chances of that people say, oh, they'll probably do the season that comes after this one because this one just sounds too crazy for them. But in my opinion, but the thing you have to remember is that whatever goes on afterwards is going to be going on at the same time as Super Ninja Steel, which basically means that they would have to finish the season and then be able to release the next one right as they're still working on that one. So it's really not that logical for them to go in the direction of jumping to whatever the 42nd season is. More likely they'll do the 41st season, or they might do Zyuohger, but I'm guessing they'll probably skip Zyuohger due to the fact that it wasn't received well enough at all, and they would probably go for this one and just make those humans instead. Obviously, we have no idea where America is planning on keeping Power Rangers due to the fact that Nickelodeon has so far extended the amount of time that they are going to own the Power Rangers franchise to 2018, which that's the end of the second season of the Ninja Steel run. So obviously many people are going to be very curious to see how this goes in the end, and we should gain more information regarding what the next season will be fairly soon, or even late next year, and also more information regarding who is going to own Power Rangers. If not by next year, by the end of 2018 or the beginning of 2018, we will know something more. But anyway, guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think. Are you guys looking forward to this? What are your guys' opinions? Do you think America's going to have this? Leave your comments below. See you guys in the next videos. Until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 1, and goodbye, guys.